Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Unconventional Counseling. Today we're doing a Mother's Day reading. And what inspired this reading is thinking about my own relationship with my mom over the years, over the decades, and thinking about how not every single Mother's Day of my life has been an easy one. And so I started thinking about others in the collective, whomever may be drawn to this reading. And I wanted to give a message of encouragement wherever you are in terms of relating to a mom or mom figure. So let's get into our prayer. Let's shuffle up. We're using the Animal Spirit Oracle deck, the Modern Witch Tarot deck, the Hoodoo Tarot deck to clarify, and the Cancerian Shops Fallback Oracle deck for our affirmations. Let's pray. Divine Alchemist, angels and archangels, celestial family, and spirit animals, thank y'all for yet another day where you freely give us guidance, support, and care. Thank you all for being our community and for paving the way for our soul tribe to come in. They are welcome, as are you. Help me to channel a clear, concise, and powerfully healing message for those in the collective on their ascension journey. And remind us to hold in our hearts and minds that we are from you, we are a part of you, and we are on a journey that will return us to you. Help us to keep the perspective that we're here to learn, experience, heal, grow, and ascend. And help us to hold the duality of being in this world but not of it. The highest praise to our guides, our teams, our celestial families, our guardians, our protectors, and of course to you, Holy Spirit. We are all we are because of you. Ashe. So these are our 4 piles. Pick whichever or all that resonate most with you and your intuition. You'll know which you're drawn to. Pile number 1 is if you have a complicated relationship with your mother. Some encouragement for you. Pile number 2 is if you consider yourself motherless. Pile number 3 is if your mom is transitioned. Pile number 4 is if you have a good relationship with your mom. So take a look and choose what feels right. And we'll get right into our readings. Hello, pile number 1. So you're here because you have a complicated relationship with your mom. And that can mean all manner of things. That can mean that you two don't speak. It could mean that when you do speak, there's a lot of emotional turmoil. It could be that you had an abusive relationship, that you were abused as a little one. And whether that was directly by your mother, your bio mother, or your mother figure, or your mother knew about it and didn't support you, or your mother didn't know about it. Complicated relationship with your mom, it can be that your mom has some struggles with mental illness, with addiction, with unhealed and unresolved trauma, that there's something getting in the way of you two being more connected. Maybe you've tried, pile number 1. Maybe you've tried time and time and time again. I would not be surprised if you have, because that's what kids do. Kids incarnate into this world, and they are usually so open and so willing to love whoever is put in front of them, flaws and all, warts and all, whether they're abused, whether they're neglected. A little kid oftentimes wants to stay with their bio mom, or with their mother figure, or with the guardian, with the parent or parents or family that they've had. It takes a lot of fear. It takes some realizations. It takes having a support system outside of whatever family dynamic or like parental system you've had, especially that it's abusive, for a little kid to understand that not everybody will hurt them, and that they can receive love without having to overperform. They can receive love without having to overgive. They can just be, and they'll be loved and they'll be accepted. It takes time. There are many of us in the collective that are still learning that. There are parts of me that are still learning that. So if you have a complicated relationship with your mom, since you have a complicated relationship with your mom, let's see what encouragement these cards have for you. Already seeing the complicated energy. Okay. So what I'm seeing is I want to say past, present, and future, but we all know in terms of time, it's not linear. So I'm picking up energies of your past, of your present, and of your future. What I'm picking up in terms of your past around this complicated relationship with your mom is that there are parts of you that have been stuck, that have ruminated and named to yourself again and again, time and time again, how much this has hurt, how much grief there is, how you feel abandoned, you feel left, you feel disregarded. And there is this, and I'm sorry for that, pile number one. If you don't hear that anywhere, I want to let you know that I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry that there are parts of you that are still hurting really deeply. There is something occurring within you, something being birthed within you that is going to help you access your inner child in a different way, like the pure parts of your inner child. So the rumination has been a burden for you for a long time, and I'm sensing the completion in the 10. The grief has guided you. Maybe the grief has guided you away from these dynamics, from this relationship, from all the people who remind you of this person. Because something that I've learned throughout my life, something that I learn in my practice as a therapist and a healer, is that when we walk away from the connections that have really hurt us, and we're still really hurting, we're still trapped in our mind around them, around how much it hurt, we still feel it in our heart space, there are more connections that feel like that come into our lives. And this isn't a negative thing. This is actually, I personally believe that this is a way that our souls set up our world and our whole paradigm to support us in healing. Because sometimes it's actually too painful to attempt to heal with your bio mom or your mother figure. You have a lot of history with that person. You potentially came through the portal of that person's body, but maybe then they weren't there for you. Or they were there in the ways that they could be, but because of unhealed trauma, because of, pains of their own, because of addictions, because of oppressions, because of whatever got in the way, because of abuse, they were only able to give you what they had. And unfortunately, what they had was way less than what you needed. So I'm really seeing that this grief has guided decisions that you've made, relationships that you've gone towards, relationships that you've walked away from. I'm sensing that you've healed a lot of this. I'm really feeling the completion here. So this feels like the past and maybe the near present energy, like the recent past right here in this grief that is guided. So maybe you've just finished some karmic cycles, pile number 1. The 3 of Knives, more heartbreak. More heartbreak. This heartbreak is turning into something that feels divinely guided or orchestrated. There is something that feels, or that will feel soon, whatever soon means to you, maybe over the next year, because pentacles represent years, maybe over this next year of 2022, there's a way that this heartbreak and this grief and this pain is being transformed into something that will feel like, something that will actually feel like a benefit to you. The 6 of Baskets. This is what I was seeing. When I mentioned your inner child, I was seeing the 6 of Baskets, or the 6 of Cups, which represents inner child work. This is what I saw in my mind's eye. This is what I was seeing because we had the 5 and the Ace, so I was seeing the 6. Yeah. you're going to be able to return to this inner child purity that you used to have. And it's coming. It's already being birthed within you. And it's also going to take its time, because your inner child has been hurt so many times that they need to heal. They need to grow in trust with you. They need to grow in trust with the new life that you've created for them. They need to grow in trust with the new people that you've surrounded yourself with. They need to know that, because like, right, your relationship with your mother figure or parental system is complicated. So your inner child needs time to learn that you are going to protect them from anything that anybody's going to say, anything that anybody's going to try to do. And little kids, it's like, I wouldn't say that little kids hold grudges. That's not what it feels like, because there's such a purity in the heart of children. But when a child has learned a pattern, and this is a human nature thing, but when a child has learned a pattern that every time they're kind and open-hearted and they smile and they're just ready to love, they get hit, they're not going to smile because they don't want to be hit. It hurts. So for your little one, your internal little one, to smile again, to feel that sense of joy and purity, they just need time. You need time. There's all this air energy, all of this mental energy. There's something transforming within your mental body. Pile number 1. And we have the camel as well. Let me read about these. The dragonfly, the firefly, and the camel. Let's see how these particular animal spirit guides are supporting you on this journey. Okay, dragonfly, master of light, illusion, and the mind. The dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder in all. This is your inner child, that sense of wonder. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it's always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless or still? Dreamlike or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. Okay, so you may want to revisit this reading at another time. Maybe when you first see this, pile number 1, things still feel pretty raw. If that feels true and you are unable to fathom your inner child feeling safe and open-hearted and having a sense of wonder, the timing is a little off for you to receive the message. But if you're still watching, know that this is planting a seed of hope within you. When this energy is in balance, you see clearly, you are joyful and you're magical. When this energy is out of balance, you have difficulty concentrating and you have a busy mind. So if the ruminations are going and going and going, if you feel like you're in this energy, pile number 1, know that there is a destined shift that is going to occur. I see that it's going to happen very naturally as you reflect on the grief that you've been feeling and that has been guiding your decisions. Ask yourself, are there connections that are currently in your life? Like if you're in this energy, ask yourself, are there connections that are currently in your life that remind you or that feel even in your body like how your relationship with your mom, bio-mom, parental system, family has felt? And if it feels complicated, if it doesn't feel easeful, I don't even have a response for you, because it's like, you're going to know what to do. You're going to know what to do. I'm just here to point things out, to highlight them. You're going to know what to do. I trust that you will. To bring this energy into balance, if you're feeling like you're ruminating a lot, Focus on your breath. Mindfulness is wonderful. Meditation is wonderful. Going for walks, doing things that will sync up your body with your breath can be really supportive for many folks. But you can do anything mindfully. You can do anything. So anything that you enjoy, just think of one thing that you enjoy, and then while you do it the next time you do it, focus on your breath for as long as you can while you do it. Focus on your inhale, and then focus on your exhale, and see if that supports you. The firefly, inspired and fantastic yet fleeting. The firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high-frequency charge cannot be sustained for long. Therefore, the firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we do not catch it. When this energy is out of balance, you feel dull and burnt out. When this energy is in balance, you're writing, you're creating, you're brainstorming. To bring this energy into balance, draw, write a poem. So you have the dragonfly and the firefly that are supporting you at this time, and both have such an airy energy, an airy and light experience to them. There feels like there's like a very quick moving nature. So when we're feeling very overwhelmed or out of balance, these energies feel out of balance, it's going to show up as rumination or anxiety or worry. Just repeating and repeating and repeating again what didn't feel good, what doesn't feel good, what harmed you, and what hurts. But when this energy is in balance through mindfulness, through creating, through drawing, through writing, when you bring this energy into balance, which is also what you can bring awareness to these practices over the coming year. As I'm channeling that over this next year, your little one needs to learn that you are there for them. And some of these things that are going to help them learn that you're there and you're consistent is doing some of the things that you loved to do when you were little. So did you love to draw? Did you love to color? Did you love to doodle, and just draw little things of your own, on the side of your paper in school? What was something that just made you so happy? Something that you didn't need much for. You just needed a pencil or a marker or a piece of paper or, I don't know, your 2 feet because you were just going to go play hopscotch. Was there something that you really loved as a little one? That it didn't matter what was happening in your home, because there was a lot happening in your home. I'm really feeling that. But it was just the best thing ever. For me, it was going outside. I just loved going for walks. I loved being in nature. Nature could have been, I was just staring up at a tree, or I was just looking down at all the bugs and the ants. I didn't care. I didn't care where it was, where I was, so long as I was outside. Outside felt so much safer, so much more comfortable, so much more comforting than being inside of the chaotic home that I grew up in. So if there is one thing or a couple of things that you really loved, over this next year, I'm really sensing that bringing consistency to these practices will support your inner child in learning that you love them, that they are safe, that they are protected. Also, these are things that you can tell them. You can talk to your little one. You can visualize hugging your little one. You can you can wrap your own arms around yourself and tell yourself you love you. There are all of these things that maybe you didn't get as a little one, and it fucking sucks that you didn't get it. Absolutely, it did not. It is not okay that you did not receive them. And there's a new thing coming. There's a brand new thing coming. The camel. Resourceful, independent, knows oneself. The camel can handle absolutely anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. Let me repeat that one, because this is you, pile number 1. The camel can handle absolutely anything as it carries a wealth of nourishment within. This wondrous creature is self-reliant and handles challenge with ease. Even in the face of excess heat, judgment, or anger, the camel searches inside for the cool elixir of water to calm the situation. The camel represents the ultimate form of bringing opposites into balance: fire and water. When this energy is out of balance, you feel dehydrated and you lack vitality. When this energy is in balance, you feel calm, content, and you got a little sparkle in your eye. And to bring this energy into balance, a pilgrimage. So I love that because there's a distinction between a pilgrimage and an adventure, right? A pilgrimage. A pilgrimage is the type of adventure that takes you on a spiritual journey. And any adventure can be a pilgrimage if you set your intention out to be that. I'm excited. There is something, this heartbreak is being transformed for you over this coming year. Pile number 1. You can handle anything. I'm sorry that you had to handle all that you did, but you are stronger than you know. Let's read your affirmation cards and close out our reading today. Be where you are. Every situation has its gift. To move forward, we must first honor where we are. For now, where you are is where you need to be. Free to fly. The past is behind you. No road takes you back. Give thanks for all you've learned. Spread your wings. Be what you seek. Let your desires inspire you to transform. Match the vibration of what you want. Absolutely. That's what you're on the journey of. That's what this pilgrimage is. You are becoming what you seek. I'm so honored and glad that I got to read for you, pile number 1. If you've enjoyed this reading, please like and share, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye. Hello, pile number 2, and welcome to your reading. Let's jump right in. So you've chosen this pile because you deem yourself motherless. I just want to take a moment to honor and to acknowledge the bravery that it takes to call yourself, to identify yourself, to name yourself, and to honor and acknowledge that that's really damn hard. It's really hard to be motherless, to consider yourself motherless. And that could be for any number of reasons, right? It could be because you don't have a relationship with your mom, mother figure, maternal or paternal. However you feel drawn to this reading, it's parental system, family system, whatever feels connected for you, whatever you deem mother. You've either never had it, or you had it, but you feel like you had it for such a short time. I mean, is there ever anyone that feels like the amount of time they had with a mom figure or with a person in their life that was loving to them was enough? I don't know. I don't know if there are. Maybe there are. But you deem yourself motherless. Pile number 2. I feel really honored to be able to read for you today. And my hope and intention is that through these cards, I'm able to channel a message for you that feels encouraging. The Wheel of Fortune. 10 of Swords. The Queen of Pentacles. And the Empress. Wow. So sometimes you deem yourself motherless because you're an orphan. You're an orphan in truth in terms of this incarnation. The people or person who parented you or who were supposed to parent you are no longer living in this plane of existence. Sometimes it's because you consider yourself an orphan emotionally and or spiritually. There's a loneliness that has become so consistent, so familiar. It may be an energy that that comes around you at times is that, yeah, everything's fine. I'm used to this. I'll just take care of myself. Again. Yeah, don't mind the 10 swords sticking out of my flesh, digging into my body. It's uncomfortable, yeah, but I'm just so used to it that what's the point of even talking about it as being uncomfortable any longer? There's like a sense of, it's not giving up. Giving up is not the right phrase. It's like there's a resignation energy that I'm feeling. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm motherless, but like what do the cards, what do our ancestors, what do our guides, what can they possibly say? Nothing can change that I'm motherless. It's true. Nothing can change what the past was. It's true. This is the Devil card. So as the wheel of fortune, the wheel of life has been turning, as it turns for us all, I'm sensing that you, pile number 2, have felt consistently that it's turned against you, that it's turned not in your favor, that it's turned in ways that have harmed you consistently. Nine of Wands, Nine of Sticks. So not only are you feeling this resignation, this resigned energy, you're also tired as fuck. You've been giving it your all. You've been giving your healing journey your all. You've been giving the wound that has been left in the place of being motherless your all. You've been tending to yourself so much for so long. So much so that you've become the Queen of Pentacles. You've become the Empress. Whether you see that manifest in your life right now, whether other people see it, there are parts of you that are the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress. And I don't believe that this is the first time you're hearing that. I think you know. I think you know what level of resiliency was required for you to keep going, considering that you're motherless. I'm curious about this card. This card came out. And I was just going to use it as an overall energy. So that's the Justice card. Dr. Buzzard is the Justice card. Let me read a little bit about what that says. Wow. Whew. Ooh. If something is forgivable, then forgive. If not, now what? Did someone do something wrong to you? If no, don't worry about it. If yes, then they've set the wheel of justice in motion against themselves. So another way that we can read this, pile number 2, is that the people, the persons who left you motherless, there is a wheel of karma that they have set in motion. Because no child should be left motherless, no adult should be left motherless. And what I'm seeing in this reading is that you have become your own mother 2 times over. You are everything that you needed and more. Ace of Sticks. So if you don't already feel that you are the Queen of Pentacles, if that doesn't feel manifest in your life, if that doesn't feel like an everyday reality, it's about to be. It's about to be. Again, soon. So we can consider over the next, because we're in eclipse season, we're in eclipse season and we're in Mercury retrograde. Mercury is about to go retrograde in Gemini. So time is moving differently than we're used to. We're used to time looking like past, present, future, and feeling very linear, even though we know that it's not. We know that it's not when grief comes up for us, 10 years later, 15 years later. We know that when we have thoughts or memories or dreams that bring us back to how we felt for all those years when we were younger. We know that when we're feeling fatigue in our body because of the trauma of neglect. Neglect is trauma, y'all. It's painful. It's painful to be abandoned. It's painful to be left. It's painful. And it sets you in a place that you're like, nobody is going to fuck with me. Absolutely, nobody will. And together, the 9 and the Ace of Wands is bringing us another 10. So we have a 10 of Swords here. We have 10 in the deck, which is the Wheel of Fortune. We have the 10 in terms of the sticks or wands. So there are a number of completions that are coming as your karma. So everybody gets karma, right? Everything we do has consequence. Every action we take, every inaction, every time we don't take action, there's consequence. And karma isn't anything for us to fear, because when we do things that feel like they're in alignment with our soul, the karma that we receive is also in alignment with us. When we do things that are out of alignment with our souls, the karma that we receive attempts to get us back into alignment. That's really all it is. Or it's a reflection of the choices that we made. So you are your own mama 2 times over. Multiple times over, you are your own mama. And because time is moving differently, that was my point. Because time is moving differently during this eclipse season, like this reading is coming out just in the middle of 2 eclipses. The new moon solar eclipse that we had in Taurus on April 30th, May 1st, depending on where you are, and the full moon partial lunar eclipse in Scorpio, which is happening around May 14th, 15th, I believe. So Mother's Day this year is falling right in between these, is being sandwiched between these 2 eclipses. Eclipses change the quality of energy. They bring completions, they bring in karma, they eclipse things out of our lives that have been there for so long. So if there's been a narrative that you've held for a long time that life just doesn't work out for you, it's on its way out. Because it doesn't serve you with who you're becoming, with who you are in your core. There's something brand new coming in, and there's also so much that's ending. So much that's ending that needed to end. The free man, the free person. So we were just talking about the free man, the free person. I had set an alarm and the video stopped. So I'm taking that to mean that there is going to be a move in this energy, in this direction, sooner than you anticipate. Pile number 2. There's going to be a freedom that you feel as these, let's just name them as 3 big karmic cycles come to an end, come to a close. Let's see which animal spirit guides are with you at this time. The owl. Of course. Of course. And all the wisdom that the owl represents. Abundance. Clairvoyant. Treasures. The owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature. The white owl in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or treasure is on the way, either in spiritual or material form. With owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon, how it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. When this energy is out of balance, you may have fights about money or feel a sense of scarcity. When this energy is in balance, you feel generous, trusting, and secure. And to bring this energy into balance, an offering. Let's see what other animal guides are with you. The cobra. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. This is bringing me to the wand energy, the stick energy. Pausing, waiting. The inner teacher. The cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. The essence of the cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher and manifests externally in their special guides who have led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. And what I'm receiving, pile number 2, is that you are your own teacher. You have become your own parent, you've become your own mom, you've become your own teacher. Life is teaching you. But as the free person, as the fool, this is the fool energy, you are embarking on a journey, you are continuing on a journey you've already been on, with a level of wisdom, just like the owl is representing, like with beginner's mind. You know, when this energy is in balance, you are a student of life. That's what I'm picking up. You have become a student of life. You are wise, you are humble. When this energy is out of balance, you may feel like a know-it-all, or people might be calling you a know-it-all. You may feel egocentric or experience that. But to bring this energy into balance is to take a class or to study. You know that you're a know-it-all. It takes one to know one, right? You know if you're a know-it-all energy, if you receive something from someone, information, insight, resource, wisdom, and you immediately feel unnerved, perturbed, upset, annoyed. Like, I already know that. Why are you telling me that? I already know that. So, if you're feeling like you're in a space of receiving, a space of openness, even if you already know something, then maybe what happens is it resonates with what is already inside of you. And that may look like telling the person, I agree. That may look like not saying anything, but just smiling and nodding. Because you know, right? Pile number 2, you know. You know, maybe you know the karma that's coming towards you. Maybe you know that you've been working so hard and there are blessings on their way, as we're hearing. Maybe you know very deeply. If so, I hope that my intention is that this reading is confirmation, extra, extra, extra confirmation from the confirmation you've already received, or it's confirmation for the first time. Or maybe you're hearing it for the first time, but your body, your soul, your intuition is resonating. You're feeling like, ooh, yes, I'm hearing this, and I'm just feeling a yes inside. I love that. Next guide we have the turtle. When I was shuffling this deck earlier, in the shuffling phase of this video, I saw the turtle at the bottom of the deck. And I was like, ooh, that's so pretty. I wonder if that's going to come out later. And here it is for you, pile number 2. Ancient soul, grounded, trusting, at home in the self. It is wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality. Like the beaver, the turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. This helps to ground and connect them to the deeper truths of life, no matter where their travels lead them. Turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers as they collect life experiences under their shells for later use. The most potent turtle energy helps us close all the other books and begin to tell our own true tale. When this energy is out of balance, you slow down to a halt. When this energy is in balance, we feel peaceful, adventurous, and productive. And to bring this energy into balance, an adventure. I love that. And it's over the 9 of sticks. So all I saw next was the Ace of Sticks and the free person or the Fool. So it's like even where the placement is just kind of organically falling, the very next thing we see is this adventure, these adventures, this adventure that you're on to become the Queen of Pentacles and the Empress in the 3D and the 4D and the 5D and all of the dimensions of your soul. You're sitting pretty in abundance, connected to love, abundance, and fertility. There's so much symbolism here that's aligning with what we're receiving in these animal guidance cards. Let's see the last animal spirit guide that's with you right now. It's the fish. Whew, how beautiful. Fish represents restlessness, change of focus, or being lost in the current. The fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Let me actually put this with the 10 of sticks, 10 of swords. The fish loves to be subsumed in life's current. Nothing pleases it more than movement, and more movement. This roaming lifestyle of the fish may be exhilarating for a while, but usually leads to weariness and slippery relationships. With all the possibilities out there in the vast waters, the fish becomes lost without clear goals and intentions. Spend some time with the lunar forces, dear fish, as the peace and calm of the moon will soothe your soul. When this energy is out of balance, we feel distracted. We change our minds often. When this energy is in balance, we feel adaptable and we travel well. And to bring this energy into balance, you set a small goal and accomplish it. Wow. There's so much beauty in this reading. There's so much difficulty too. We don't have to hide the difficulty. There's so much difficulty. There's so much pain in this identity, this experience of being motherless. I see it. I feel it. I acknowledge it. I honor it with you. pile number 2. And just know that just as this says, everything is fine, everything is fine, everything will soon be fine. But with a very different imagery, with a very different sensation. Let's see what affirmations we have for you as well. Embrace change. You've outgrown your comfort zone. Time to explore new possibilities. Like an adventure. Look at that. Get out of your own way. You are the reason, the cause, and the solution. Take back your power by remembering who you really are. Absolutely. Remember who you really are. Dream it to life. See and feel what will soon be real. Take time to visualize the experience you want to have before any situation. So this adventure that you're on, take time to dream it up. Take time to feel it. Because very soon, pile number 2, it will be your very lived reality. You'll feel it inside. People will experience it about you. People might reflect it to you. But what matters most is that you feel it. What matters most is that you believe it and you see it. Let's pause our reading here. Pile number 2. If you were drawn to any of the other readings, I will see you shortly. And if this is where we end, I wish you the very best. And I hope you take good care today and over this next while. All right. Catch you in the future. Bye. Hello, folks who chose pile number 3. So you are here because your mom, mother figure, person that raised you or people that raised you have transitioned. Let me first say that I'm sorry for your loss. Whether it happened yesterday, last week, last year, a couple months ago, decades ago, years ago. I know that there's still moments, times, days, maybe days like today, when it stings, when it hurts. Maybe there are important milestones or holidays or anniversaries that sometimes you forget because, you're living your life, you're moving through your own experiences. Or maybe you remember everything, absolutely everything, and there's nothing that you imagine you could ever forget because this person or these people were just so impactful for your journey. I'm not in any way going to assume that there was only beauty in the relationship you had with your mom figure, people who raised you, because that is not anyone's experience that I've known. Everyone I've ever met has had a complex, dynamic relationship with the person or people who raised them. There was more that they wished that they could be. There was more that they wished that they could have offered. There was pain that they received, they were on the receiving end of, in these connections that they wished maybe didn't happen, or that took a lot of time to heal. There's just all sorts of things. Or maybe your relationship with your mom or maternal figures were awesome. It was awesome. It was great. You have no complaints. But they're not here with you now. Maybe today feels a little hard. My intention is that this reading, whatever we see in these cards, because it'll be a surprise to me too, that it offers some sense of encouragement for where you are right now on your ascension journey and where you're headed. right out the gate. Confidence. All right. 10 of Cups. Judgment. Wow. And the Tower. Wow. Wow. Already, this is a very powerful energy and reading. What I'm receiving is that you have the blessing. Whoever passed, whoever they were to you, if they were your mom, your bio mom, the person who raised you, the person who adopted you, the person who loved on you, a neighbor, an aunt, an uncle, because having a mom figure, it's not even limited to gender. It's not limited to gender or to role or to if that person conceived you in their body. It's whoever you consider your mom to be, whoever you think of on Mother's Day who's passed. It could be your grandmother, grandfather. What I'm hearing, what I'm receiving is you have the blessing. I'm going to get some more cards and clarify. I know that we have some cards, but I want to clarify that particular message because I'm just hearing it. I'm hearing it somewhat faintly, and I want to hear it more clearly, and I want to discover with you. Pile number 3. What particular blessing, or what more they may have to say around that. You have the blessing. Spirit guides and guardian angels, can you please clarify what you mean, what you're speaking to when you say that folks who've chosen pile number 3 have the blessing? Okay, I'm going to put them down here. Okay, so right now what I'm getting is what I'm hoping is that throughout reading the whole reading, we'll get a better understanding of you have the blessing and what that means. Unless you heard it and that's all you needed to hear, and if you know, you know, all right? Trust your intuition, trust yourself. If you know, you know. But let's see if there's more. I'm hoping that doing the whole reading will give more clarity for me or for any other viewer out there. So we have the King of Wands, and as soon as I saw the King of Wands, I felt that was you, pile number 3. You, whoever has been drawn to this reading, that is your soul represented at this time. So we have it clarified by the 8 of Knives or the 8 of Swords, which typically represents a sense of anxiety, fear, not being sure which way to go. And here I'm going to look at it as a sense of self-doubt, that perhaps you're really doubting if you are this person. Maybe you're not feeling that these days. Or maybe it comes in short spurts and you're just not quite sure if that is who you're meant to be or the energy that you can fully embody. So we have this clarified by the 3 of Wands. And what I'm sensing is that there is an incoming, like it's like right there. You're on the precipice, or the blessing is on the precipice of being celebratory. There is going to be a celebration. I'm seeing this because we have 3 of Wands and we have the King of Wands who's holding a wand. So I'm seeing the 4 of Wands. And the 4 of Wands represents celebration. And so to have the 8 of Knives in between your identity and your blessing, there is self-doubt, getting in the way of, or is creating an obstacle to the beautiful blessing, the beautiful alignment, the beautiful abundance that is on its way. That's the Magician. Black Hermit is the Magician. So even though we can talk about blessings as though they are coming in for you, what I'm also sensing is that you're going to be the one to create the blessing. You're co-creating with the divine, yes, at all times, and this is going to be a you experience, something that you are actioning, something that you're making so possible through hard work, through consistent, dedicated, diligent hard work. Maybe something that you've been working on for the past 8 years. If 8 feels significant in terms of years, months, days, but I'm really feeling this sense of, or 18 days or months or years, I'm really feeling this sense of something is coming together, so Black Hermit or the Magician is an energy that takes all of the elements and uses them together to alchemize and to create magic. So magic is really like science with a little bit of mystery added on. And as long as you know the rules and, you're trying to keep your intentions pure, because on this channel, we believe in, being caring more about what we are trying to create for ourselves than trying to do something in somebody else's life. Because this 10 of Cups is for you. This 10 of Cups is for you. This King of Wands is you. I'm not seeing other people. So if you're thinking about what anything that tends to be karmic, like somebody needs to do something or something else needs to happen, I'm not picking that energy up in this particular reading. So the mom energy that has transitioned is with you, cheering you on, reminding you of who you are, working with you. It's as though this energy, this spirit is part of what you use to create. It's part of your blessing. Maybe this person helped instill the seed of the vision of this 10 of Cups, of this abundance, of this family, of this community, of having the balance that you've always wanted in your life. Maybe this person instilled in a hard work ethic into you. There was something that they gave you on top of who you already are that allows for you to have everything you need to create the blessing and the abundance and the joy and the ease and the alignment that is yours. Let's continue. Mother of Sticks. All right, so we got a mother out here. Mom came through. I wonder if this energy, this spirit, this person who's passed on was really fiery and confident. Like they just knew who they were and they reminded you constantly. It's like they were your better half. We have the mother and the king. So in one deck, this is the father. In another deck, this is the queen, right? So it's like they were your soulmate. They are your soulmate. I don't believe that whatever material form we're in changes our soul nature. the world. So you have judgment and the world surrounding your soulmate's energy. Your mama, papa, grandparent, auntie, uncle, neighbor, best friend, guardian, this person or people who loved on you when you needed it most, who are no longer with you. They are saying that the world is your oyster, the world is yours, to make of it whatever you want it to be. Like your world, your reality, through hard work and understanding the rules of the game, the rules of this matrix, the rules of the elements that you have, and not doubting yourself so much. I'm seeing this vision of when they make metal, the process that they use to turn, like the metallurgy, how they turn minerals into swords or weapons. They need to like melt it down to its core parts, mix it all together, and it's really hot. It's really hot. It becomes this molten sort of clay. And then they pour it into some shape, and it gets to that shape. But then you have to let it cool. It can't cool too much, but it has to cool enough that it forms a solid. And then from that point, when you have the solid, then you get a hammer, and you still have to keep the fire going, because you're going to now put this formerly, it used to be a molten liquid, and now it's a solid that is like, it's too hot to the touch, but it's solid enough. And you take this solid enough piece of metal with your hammer and the fire that's going in front of you, and you put it into the fire, and then you take it out and you bang it. You bang it into the shape that you want it to go into. That's what I'm seeing you doing. Pound number 3. That's what I'm seeing that your mama, your mother, your parental, the person who loved on you, who's passed on, that's what I'm seeing that they gave you. They gifted you the type of skill that no one can take from you. They gifted you the skill of creating swords, of creating weapons, of creating the weapons that will protect you throughout the rest of this life, throughout the rest of this world. They gave you the skills that you need to be able to create wands, so that you can just, at the, with the flick of a wrist, create with your intention, with the flick of a wrist, with knowing the elements, you can create what you want in this life. They gave you maybe the power to dream. Maybe they believed in your dreams and they spoke into your dreams. They gave you something that no one and nothing in this world can take. Not even self-doubt. Self-doubt can't take it. It just obscures which way you want to go. It just brings you to a crossroads every time you want to do something new. Ooh. Let's see about this tower. The tower card, whenever the tower card comes out, these days I get a little bit more excited than I used to, because in the past, I'd be like, dang it, what else? What else is happening? What else is falling away? Is it going to hurt? They don't look happy, it's like raining fire, it's lightning, this doesn't feel so comfortable. But being through enough tower moments, being in a Saturn return as I'm in right now, recognizing, looking back over my life and realizing how much of it, I was in pain, I'm like, okay, we're going to break some shit up. We're going to have something feel a little bit more, more aligned. Because sometimes we have a tower because what has been built up isn't going to work for where we're going. What has been built up isn't in connection with who we are. What has been built up just, it's too tall. Sometimes it's just too tall. Look at this 10 of Cups. You can see everything. You can see where the city is. You can see the nature. You can see the rainbow. You can see the house. There is an expansive energy. Look at the Three of Wands. You're on higher ground, and you can see the ships of yours that are going to come in. You can see the treasures and blessings that are on your way to you. It's usually with a clear heart, a clear mind, or a clearing. When things are level, when we feel like we're on the same level as them, or we're on higher ground, whether in this Three of Wands or on a throne, that we feel more equipped to move forward into the next areas of our lives. So it's scary, and it's painful, and sometimes it's real confusing, and it can be irritating because maybe you built up that tower with all the resources that you had before. But what I'm receiving is that you have everything you need. You have everything you need because of who you are and because of everything that they gave you. You have it all within. 5 of Knives. All right, so more conflict energy. 5 of Knives. Let me look that up. Five of Knives. Ooh. All right, so we could read this like how we might want to read the Tower, as though it's something negative or harsh. But if we read this Tower card in relationship to all the cards that are out, it's actually really positive. And that's what I felt as soon as I saw it. So what if, a question, so the Hoodoo Tarot deck has all these questions, and the question that I'm drawn to is, what if this breakdown is a breakthrough? What if this breakdown is a breakthrough? And what the Five of Knives tells us is that there's a sense of overcoming challenges. It's like it's bookending this Eight of Knives. So maybe there was a lot of internal dialogue, internal challenges. There was a lot of rumination and anxiety about which way to go. And now you're moving into this place of believing in yourself, of removing obstacles, and not being your own worst enemy any longer. Because if they could believe in you, if they saw you as this when you were still a little one, why not you? Why not you see you that way too? Wow. Lastly, we have the Devil. Wow. What a way to clarify the reading. So you have the blessing. You have the blessing. The Devil represents our attachment to ego-based things, our attachment to fear, fears that are getting in the way of maybe where we want to go. So, question that this deck has: this oracle book has, this hoodoo tarot deck has, that I feel immediately drawn to. Are you purposely choosing to remain ignorant because you don't want to face the truth? Are you purposely choosing to remain ignorant of the fact that this whole thing needs to fall? Of the fact that you are a king with a 10 of cups life right on the horizon, because you know how to create anything that you want through your hard work, dedication, belief in self, and everything they gave you. Are you tired of playing small yet? Because as soon as you are, all these blessings that they spoke over you or that they knew in their soul are going to come right on through. The whole world will be your oyster. Pile number 3. Let's see what animal guides are with you at this time. We have the lion. How appropriate. Let's put that right next to the King of Wands. How appropriate. The sea serpent. Nice. And the whale. Ooh. That's beautiful. Okay. Let's read up about each of these guides. Yeah. Lion. Patient. Regal. A complete master. The lion is a master of the fire element and the living mascot of self-transformation. A lion personality dedicates their life to personal and spiritual growth. This dedication inspires some and intimidates others. Therefore, the lion is respected by all, but known intimately by few. Some mistake the lion as hard to access or aloof, yet those with a keener eye know better. Lions are observant, stealth, and precise in their words and actions. When you're feeling out of balance, your energy may feel withdrawn or too serious. When we're feeling in balance, you are the epitome of peace and strength, and to bring this energy into balance is daily meditation and friendship. Wow. Are there friends of yours that you'd like to reconnect to? Are there friends that remind you of this mama figure that you had? People who knew them? People who also loved them? People who were also parented by them or encouraged by them or loved on by them? These might be some people that you want to connect to at this time as you're sitting with this energy of this Mother's Day. Sea serpent. Healing emotional wounds, expressing desires. The sea serpent represents the energy of expression. Whether it's emotions, creativity, sensuality, or desire, the sea serpent helps us move and direct our energy into a healthy current. When the essence of this card is in balance, we express ourselves creatively and sexually without fear or shame. We know what we desire most. Our hearts are at ease and our relationships are meaningful and enduring. We loosen the grip of self-judgment and we let the cool waters of forgiveness in to heal our wounds. When the energy of the sea serpent is not yet activated, our emotions and creativity are left in the muddy waters. The current of expression stagnates in some areas of our lives and in other places it floods. It's important to remember, no matter what the waters of our emotional lives look like, the sea serpent loves us just the same. Like a mother, she wraps herself around us in a gesture of protection. She supports us as we learn to express our true natures. Is that what your mama did? Your mama person did? They supported you as you learned to express your true nature. As the King of Wands, it's really beautiful. lastly, you have the whale guiding you as well. The whale spirit energy, spirit animal. Whale, desire to delve deeper, profound peace and ancient wisdom. The whale represents profound emotional health and stability. This is also what the Ten of Cups signifies. Whale personalities are not afraid of emotional expression or traversing difficult terrain, as they have overcome many challenges in their lives. These experiences have enriched them, given them stability, strength, and a depth that is rare. Whale energy is usually linked to the feminine forces of compassion and communication. We can depend on whale personalities when all else seems lost, and trust them to be a beacon in our darkest hour. When this energy is out of balance, we feel heavy, and we slip into an old story. When this energy is in balance, we feel calm, steady, and deeply compassionate. And to bring this energy into balance, regular self-care. That's one of the things that they gave you. A deep wellspring of compassion. Whether in their being in your life or whether in their absence from your life, you were able to access a level of compassion and depth that others who have not been through similar types of losses may not experience in this lifetime, except that they experience it from you. There is a blessing that you are. We're talking about the blessings that you're creating for yourself. You, pile number 3, are a blessing. You absolutely are a blessing as you exist, as you are today. And the more that you believe and trust that you are, the more it will manifest into your experience, the more that the self-doubt will continue to decrease. The more that you face the things that hurt, like this tower, the more that you reconcile the parts of you that do fall into the old story of what hurts and how it's not fair, that you don't have the people or the things or the resources that you desire, or that you didn't get them, or that you only have them for a short period of time. Yes, there are parts of you that will fall into those places, or that will revisit those places of pain, yes, and that's okay. Because regular self-care will help you move through every time, most times. And remembering who you are, that you're a blessing. Let's see what affirmations you have, and let's close out our reading. Go to nature, take a walk, have a picnic, lay on the grass, look up at the clouds. So if your self-care has anything to do with being outside, that's extra confirmation. You are glowing. All eyes are on you. Receive attention and affection. Your energy is magnetic. Absolutely. Keep being you. What others say or do is a reflection of them, not you. Don't take anything personally. It drains your energy. Whew. And with that, pile number 3, I'll say let's pause here. If you are drawn to any other readings of mine on my channel, or of this reading, this Mother's Day reading today, I'll catch you. I'll see you very soon. And if not, I hope that this Mother's Day is all that it is meant to be. I hope that something in this reading felt resonant, and I hope that you know and continue to remember that you are a blessing. Take good care. Bye. Hello, pile number 4. Last but not least, We're going to get into your reading and see what messages there are for you. You are here, you were drawn here because you have a great relationship with your mom or mom figure. I'm so happy for you. I'm really glad for you. It brings me a lot of joy and peace, knowing that each of our journeys are distinct, because I'm sure that there are things that you offer the world and you offer the collective, just in the fact that you have a good relationship with your mom that others are not charged to do in the same way. All right, so let's see what your reading has for you. The Lovers, 9 of Swords, the Emperor, and the Page of Wands. Wow. So there's a new perspective that a choice is bringing you. And I wonder if you were also drawn to pile number 3, because I'm sensing that you're feeling weary due to someone passing, someone now becoming an ancestor. I think your guidance so far is to trust in what you feel. Trust what you feel. If you're feeling like, you need to take some extra time in bed, if you feel like you're feeling like grieving, trust what you feel. Trust what you feel. Maybe the tears will be, if there are tears that fall, maybe they will be a mixture of different emotions. Maybe there's sadness and grief and anger and joy, gratitude. So you, pile number 4, you were drawn here because you have a good relationship with your mom or mom figure, parents, family. But you were drawn here for a reason. There's something that I'm seeing, there's like a message in these cards, and I'm going to take a moment to see if anything comes through more deeply to speak on. I'm really intrigued by this 9 of Swords. I'm going to clarify with some more cards. I'm really intrigued by this grief. Spirit, can you help us understand more about this grief that's coming through for pile number 4? So I'm sensing the end of betrayal, the end of self-sabotage. and a brand new beginning that leads to you feeling really strong. Like stronger than you've ever been. Stronger than you've ever realized you've been. Emotionally. There's an understanding of your boundaries in a way that you haven't ever known before. But you know very clearly now. You can trust what you feel. Pound number 4. So I have this belief that even for those of us that may have good relationships with parents, family, in the collective, everyone has something with family, with moms, with dads, with the people who loved on us, that we wanted more attention, more affection, more care, more guidance, more joy. Maybe you were taught to be the strong one, and you appreciate the people who raised you or the person who raised you for doing that. But there isn't much emotional energy here. And so, hearing me saying earlier, trust what you feel, maybe you didn't get to hear that often. And the choices that you're being guided to make, or that you're sensing to make at this time, are shifting a perspective to help you trust your emotional body too. Like, I'm sensing that you're very often, in most scenarios, you're a very grounded, reliable, responsible human. You have bright ideas and you move on them, but you do so in ways that are risk averse. You're not impulsive. And sometimes in the lack of impulsivity, or sometimes in the thoughtfulness that you bring, sometimes there's a procrastinating sort of energy that can happen, and you can end up self-sabotaging just through thinking it over again and again and again, just wanting to make sure it was just so and it was just right. I'm sensing that there's an ending to that constant warring in your mind that's leading to this fatigue emotionally, this weariness. Got the 4 of baskets, 4 of cups twice. Which 4 plus 4 gives us 8, and the 8 of cups is about walking away from that which no longer serves you. Like, how does this relate to you having a good relationship with your mom? Maybe on one hand, it's that, because if you have a really good relationship with your mom or your mama figures or your community of people who raised you, you may feel stronger and more like resourced internally to make the decisions that you're about to make. You may. You very well may. And there's something to be said for having a secure attachment to someone, or to growing up with a fairly secure attachment, or to being able to heal your relationships to this person or these people. But there's also something that you're being guided to walk away from. And I'm not sure just yet if it's in relationship to your mom, or if it is just your reading as someone who is close to or has a good relationship with their mom or mama figures. Let's see what other guidance you have, and see if there's any more clarity. And perhaps you have clarity that I don't, because maybe this resonates very much so for you. The bat. The unicorn. Okay. And the eagle. Let's read up about these guides that are supporting you at this time with this choice to trust yourself and to trust what you feel. Okay, the bat. Darkness, letting go. Death leading to rebirth. You have the death card in this reading. Before emerging, the bat waits for the sun to set and the moon to rise. In the darkness, it can see all that was invisible in the daylight hours. The bat is a master of the subtle senses, of the underlying forces that cause some things to prosper and other things to fade. The bat card shows up to signify the ending of a chapter, the closing of a door. The bat comes swiftly, encouraging us to move on. In just a few hours, a new day dawns. No more lingering in the past. When this energy is out of balance, we refuse to let go and reminisce. So I'm wondering, for you who chose this pile, is it that you want to have a good relationship with your mom or mom figures, but there are parts of you that are like, I don't know if I can fully say that, but it's like, I want it and I claim it, and I can see that there are parts of our relationship that are salvageable. That I feel like I'm starting to resonate with some of y'all in the collective. Like, that feels like clarity. So there's something that feels really hard to let go of. And maybe I read this as self-sabotage, but if it is self-sabotage, you learned it from somewhere, right? You learned it from watching those that you care about and those that you love do the same to themselves, do the same to you. When this energy is in balance, we accept, we adapt, and we adjust. Ultimately, we forgive. When we know what's going on, when we know what happened in the past, and when I say what happened in the past, I mean, you can talk about your childhood, or you can think about your childhood, or you can think about former aspects of this relationship with your mom or parent or mom figure, the person that comes to mind when you're thinking about this reading in Mother's Day, or people. When you're thinking about that, those times formerly in your relationship, when you were younger, there are parts of you that you can acknowledge the parts of you that were wounded. You can acknowledge the parts of you that were hurt. You can acknowledge the parts of you that maybe felt a sense of apathy, like, look, they keep trying to give me this very particular thing in this relationship, but that's not what I want. And I keep telling them that that's not what I want. And I'm not saying, however that comes up, you're allowed, right? You have a good relationship with your mama, your people, whatever good means to you. You're allowed to have parts of you or parts of your experience that are saying, that's not what I wanted. Yes, I'm really grateful for these other things that they gave me. Yes, I'm really glad for what they instilled in me. I'm grateful for who I am today because they helped me become who I am. Yes. And that's not what I wanted. Or parts of this is not what I wanted. Or I wanted more. To bring this bat energy into balance, watch the sunrise. You're absolutely allowed to want more and to desire more. You are deserving of more. Pile number 4. And what I'm sensing is that in the choice to change your perspective, the choice to be on this journey, to allow the door to close, of reminiscing over the old paradigm only, as though it's the only thing that happened and that you've experienced in these connections. In closing that door, you free yourself. You free yourself to trust what you feel, because our feelings help us create boundaries. You may have a pretty great relationship, or a good or a decent, whatever word you want to use, relationship with the person or people that you're thinking of when you're drawn to this reading. And maybe there are parts of you that are like, yeah, like I can talk to them once a week, or I can reach out to them for Mother's Day, or I can check on them every other week or so, but I don't want to talk to them about my emotional life, maybe my intimate life. Maybe I don't want to talk to them about friendships because when I was younger, they got in the way of some of my really formative friendships. There's something emotional, like the emotional pieces that are coming up. It feels like there was more that you desired, or there was something that you received that you didn't want from the people or person that you appreciate, respect, love. You're allowed to create boundaries now. Or you're allowed to keep the boundaries that you've had, to either firm them up or to revisit them, and to ask yourself if they are still serving you as they are. You're allowed. Absolutely. Yep. And it doesn't have to be a punishment towards anyone. It can just be what your truth is. The eagle. All-pervading power, truth seeker, transforms karma. The eagle emanates the light of the sun. This great bird is both physically and spiritually strong and represents mastery over the elements of fire and air. When the eagle appears, you'll soon be thrown into the karmic fire for the sake of your transformation. The death card also represents transformation. The eagle pushes us to be our best and brightest selves and stops at nothing to see us shine. Grasp the sun in your talons and hold on for the ride. You are stronger than you think, eagle child. When this energy is out of balance, we may feel controlling. When this energy is in balance, we feel bright, radiant, and we accept challenges. To bring this energy into balance, step into the unknown. Step into the unknown of your emotional state. Step into the unknown of trusting what you feel with a similar level of groundedness that you would bring to your endeavors, your creative endeavors, to your work life. Trust what you feel in a similar way. The ways that you show up for the people in your life that, reach out to you and want support from you, give yourself that compassion too. Unicorn. Reconnecting to higher wisdom or divinity. It's difficult to see, hear, or think of a unicorn without immediately questioning if it's real. The unicorn card appears and wakes us up to curiosity about the higher self and the divine. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. It is a card of questioning, exploring, and contemplating the inexplicable. The mind's eye knows there is something beyond our day-to-day lives, a deeper dimension to our experiences. The mind's eye reaches and reaches and reaches out to grasp something more. You are the unicorn, and you have begun your quest for the answers. Okay, unicorn. Unicorn, eagle child, bat. Let's read your affirmations. Surrender what you can't control is teaching you to let go. Surrender. This feels explicit, right? Yeah. That's your guidance, to surrender. Create your joy. Smile and laugh. You deserve to be happy for no reason. Take time to do what feels good. That also feels like it goes with this double four of cups, this double four of baskets, this 8 of cups sort of energy, walking away from all that doesn't serve you emotionally and walking towards emotional satisfaction. And it's possible that your mama figure may not understand these new boundaries or this new way of being that you're operating it may feel clunky at first to surrender to surrender the knowledge that what happened didn't work for you. You didn't like it. You didn't appreciate it, or you needed or wanted more, and yet you're still going to show up as yourself. You're still going to show up as grounded. You're still wanting to show up as laughing often, as being happy for no reason. Self-love equals self-discipline. Keep your word to yourself. Fall in love with how you feel when you are taking care of you. So this reading actually feels like it's a lot more about you than it is about your mom or mama figure. As all the readings before, 1, 2, and 3 felt, this one, I think, was a little bit different. I mean, all the other readings had self at the center, but this one felt a little different because I think I personally assumed that because this is entitled Having a Good Relationship with Your Mom, that it would somehow be about your mom. But that was my mistake. This is about you. This is about you surrendering what you can't control. This is about you experiencing this ending. This is about you acknowledging and honoring that this weariness that you felt is a weariness that your ancestors have felt. That you are healing some deep emotional wounds, and you're doing so at a rate that is maybe faster than it seems possible because you're being responsible and diligent. You're being yourself about it. You're taking your time. You're taking your time without the obstacle of self-sabotage. So we're going to leave this reading right here. I hope that it was clarifying for you. I hope that you received something from this. My intention is that, there was a message in here for you and you found it and it resonated. So I hope you have a happy, maybe complicated Mother's Day, because it may be complicated, as you surrender what you can't control, as you surrender is just hard. It's just hard. It's hard when there are deaths. It's hard when there are endings, even if they do also represent new beginnings. I'm excited for you, pal number 4. You are the unicorn, you are the eagle, you are the bat. And your self-love is everything at this time. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Like, subscribe, share. Bye.